Okay, so I finished Red Rising. Basic premise, the Hunger Games in space. I thought it was very good. I think I ended up in the end rating it 4 stars. This follows Darrow, or Darrow, I actually don't know how to say his name, but I feel like it should be Darrow, so I'm saying Darrow. This follows Darrow after an incident, and then he's like, the government's bad, let me take it down. This is a sci-fi dystopian that reads like a fantasy for most of the book. Like a medieval, like, war. Yeah, there's stuff going on. I don't know how to say my thoughts about this, spoiler free, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay. Hang on, I just finished. Okay. It is darker than I expected, so just if you can't handle things, check out what's wrong with it. Okay, I found it a little bit predictable, but also, it was a fun time. Were people dying the whole time? Yeah, but like, what's not fun about that? So, I really like when, this book and a certain indie, I tried to point to it, but it's not even remotely on screen, and a certain indie book did this thing where I really like it when the grief is carried throughout the entire book, and a lot of times books try to almost have somebody die and then have that just be it and it not like carry the weight. So I like that the weight of the beginning of the book is carried throughout the whole book, and even stuff in the middle and whatnot is still carried to the end. I like that. I like the arc that the character's going on. I can't when I say it's predictable, I mean each time I ended up making like a either or prediction. I'm like, either this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen. And it was one of those 2 options every single time. And I'm doing the same thing with this main character where I'm like, either this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen. And I'm really curious to see which way the author goes, assuming I'm right, which I might not be, but whatever. The characters were well done. Half of them are psychopaths. Servo, love him. He's crazy. Rogue, also love him. Less crazy. Actually, he's not really crazy. He's only mildly crazy. All of them are at least a little crazy, and I think Rogue's the most not crazy, and he's definitely in the top 2 favorites. I really like the world. I really like the way the author... There we go. That's one thing I forgot, I haven't mentioned yet. I really like the way the author writes culture. The way we go from low society and what their people are like and what defines them as a people group, then up to like the middle group and how they work around each other, and then again in the high parts of society, how they interact and the different stages between each, and the different way they talk and the way they act and what makes them their people. I don't know if that really made sense, but we're going with it. Everyone's crazy. It was a great time. There wasn't really any slow parts. The only thing that was a hiccup for me is once we have an initial action and then there's a change of location, and that change of location threw me off for a bit. But after we got past that part, I was good. But I think that's mostly because the beginning of books is always harder for me to get into. And so it was like we had 2 beginnings. So, I don't know, it just made it harder for me to get invested until once I was there, we were there. I like the way he's talking about their society is called the society, but the higher-ups and the control and how the control is maintained and how they're maintaining control is working, but perhaps it's not the best option. And how our character is now going to exploit the one weakness that they're going to have. But in order to do that, he has to learn how to lead in a way that he finds better. And it's really interesting. So I will read book 2, probably not quite for a bit, but I am excited to continue. Okay, next I have started on Kindle the Yellow Wallpaper. This is the short story about a crazy lady. Not a crazy lady, but a lady who goes crazy because she's in this one house and she's just staring at this yellow wallpaper for way too long. Can't really say much more than that because I don't think that that it's a short story. There's not much more to say. The only reason I haven't finished it is because I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I usually prefer, or not on my Kindle, on my phone, on the Kindle app. I think the only reason I haven't finished is because I'm reading it there. I don't really, it's not my favorite medium, so I don't pick it up often. It's more of been when I have spare time, which is a really weird way to read a short story, but it's how we're going. And then now that I finished Red Rising, my main focus is going to be Chess Story by Stefan Zweig. This is a book about chess. Yes, obviously, but I'm really hyped for it. So this follows this character who is imprisoned, and there to keep himself sane, he plays chess. He finds a book on chess, he reads it, and then chess becomes an obsession for him. And as somebody who loves chess, and apparently crazy characters, I'm here for this. So, we'll see how it goes. But I'm hyped because going from, this is a small thing to be excited about, but going from Red Rising, right? I don't know if my camera can pick up the difference. I don't know if I'll be able to catch the difference here. We're gonna try. Like, this is so stupid, but look at the font size differences if you can. I'm just really excited to read a book with a bigger font for no good reason other than it makes it feel like it goes by faster. And also this was like almost 400 pages. The last book I read was like 400 pages. And this book is what, 80? 83, 84. So I should be able to knock this out in a couple days. Technically I really could in one sitting, but that depends on how much I like it. Oh, and I start on page 3. There's an introduction. I don't read introductions for... Is this actually considered a classic? Well, assuming this is a classic, I don't read introductions for classic because, well, they usually spoil things / tell you what to think about the book, and I don't want that. So, that is my update, and I'll let you know how the rest of it goes. Go around. Okay, so I finished a couple of books, and let's update. So I finished One Piece, volume 18. This is in the middle of Baroque works. I currently don't care about the arc we're in, so I don't have much to say. I really like the parts where Luffy, like, gets serious about things. Otherwise, I don't really care right now. But in better news, I finished Chess Story by Stefan Zweig. Okay, I really liked it. So, how do I spoiler-free thoughts? I really like, the book. It's a good book, you know? Dude, okay. The writing, first of all. Let's just, the prose is really good. I really like the way this author writes insanity into the way he's writing what he's writing. That was really redundant, but he'll use repetition to show that when the character's like kind of losing it a little bit. And I really like that aspect of it. Also, obviously, I like the chess. I wish it was longer. It was so short. He's only like 84 pages. It was so good. But it was only... okay. I haven't scripted this, so I haven't... And it's also, it has been a couple days since I finished, so all my thoughts are scattering. It wasn't what I expected, because when the book was like, I don't know, I guess pitched to me, I thought it was going to be in the point of view of the man who gets chess mania. And it's not. It's in the POV of somebody else, and he basically kind of interviews the guy in a way. Not quite. The guy just is like, well, you want to know why? Here's why. And then he goes into his story on how he became a chess addict. Speaking of the chess mania, maybe I just like books where there's a monomaniac because, Moby Dick, Chess Story. So if you got any others, turns out I might like them. I can't really say much spoiler-free for the fact of it's so short. I feel like everything's a spoiler. Pro's really good. Plot, there's not really a plot. I guess there is a plot, but it's not like, I don't know, action or whatever. The characters, I'm not attached to them, but that doesn't mean they're not written well. I think they're very well done. It's not like I'm like, oh, I care about you. It's all like, oh, I do want to hear what you're saying, though. So, still well done. What else? Other aspects are there for books? Hang on. pacing, it's 84 pages. It's gonna be fine. Like, so I really liked it. It's, okay, I don't like doing the whole 0.25, 0.75 thing. I'm like, just pick one, and if it's really stuck, to a half star. But low-key, 4.75. And I only think that it's, like, missing a couple because I didn't realize that the whole story wasn't him going insane over chest. That's, like, I still want that. But that's still, it's obviously not the book's fault. Very good book. Yes. Also, both of these books, Red Rising and Chest Story, will be getting their own spoiler review. I'm thinking of starting to do reviews for books that I rate 4 stars or higher. And also because I just based off memory, I haven't gone back and looked, but just based off memory, I really think that I wasn't coherent during that Red Rising portion. I mean, I wasn't very much coherent during the Chest Story portion either, but, you know, here we are. I finished the Yellow Wallpaper as well. It kind of fits for Chest Story. Okay, so everybody's insane. I finished the Yellow Wallpaper as well. It's a little short story about this woman who stares at wallpaper long enough that she kind of goes mad after everybody thinks she's already mad. But no, the wallpaper made it worse. You should let her leave the house. That was good. I really don't want first person. It doesn't actually take away from the book, but I keep going into books thinking they're not going to be in first person because it's like an older book and then they're in first person and I'm like, why is everything in first person? I don't have many thoughts about the Yellow Wallpaper. I thought it was really good, but the descriptions. Okay, I will say that. The descriptions of the wallpaper intertwined with her like hysteria, whatever it exactly is, really good. That one's also very short though. But I think I just like insane people. I will get better at talking about books, I promise. Oh my, Azzy's going crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. So those are the most, ma'am, I was going to say the books that I read this week, but they're not, because I didn't read them all this week, nor did I read them all in 1 week. But those are the books I've read recently, and I will give you another update for the next books.